Hello, and welcome to US History and Elections, where today we're going to be looking at the 2020 presidential race, and by doing so, we will be looking at the latest polls as of the 18th of May 2020. And we're only going to be looking at the polls of the competitive states, and even though some of the states that I've already characterized in either blue for Joe Biden or red for the incumbent President Donald Trump, some of them, such as Minnesota and New Mexico, will not be a safe margin. When I mean a safe margin, I mean that of more than 15 points to Democrats. And this is also going to be seen in probably states such as Indiana and Maine's second district. It will be more close or likely margin. However, at the end of the day, it will still go to the respective parties in each state. So at the moment, we have almost 200 electoral votes that are toss-ups. Of course, some of these are still going to be going to one party, almost certainly. However, we're going to be using the latest polling data sourced from 538, which combines many polls and is just like a hub for many polling firms. So today, we're going to be starting with Iowa. Back in 2016, this was very solid for the president. And even after Obama won it for 2008 and 2012, quite solidly both times, they currently have it characterized as a lean or likely, however you want to characterize it, in the GOP's column, with currently Trump leading by 2 points in the state. We're then going to move down to Georgia, and this is also less competitive for the Democrats in the past, but more recently, you want to look back to 2018 governor's election. It's quite close with Stacey Abrams and Brian Kemp, but it's still going to the Republicans with another 2 point lead. And in Texas, a very big state that the Democrats have been moving more towards, especially after Beto O'Rourke's Senate run back in 2018, is still going to go to the Republicans almost certainly at the end of the day, and they are currently leading by 3 points in the state of Texas. And now we move over to North Carolina. Their important race, almost certainly going to be a Democratic hold in the governorship, but in the Senate, it's quite a tight race there between Tom Tillis and the Democratic challenger Cunningham. However, this is still being characterized as a lean GOP state at the moment. I don't know why. Yeah, oh, there we go. So a lean GOP state with 3 points, and Ohio, which back in the past went for Barack Obama twice, however flipped quite solidly to Donald Trump back in 2016. However, this is also going to be characterized as a Republican hold state and will be almost pivotal for Donald Trump in helping win re-election. And is currently going to Trump with 51% saying they would vote for him compared to 49% for Biden, and that averages out to just and that rounds up to roughly 3 point lead for the president. As you can see, the states that have just been characterized are the sort of states that you would expect Donald Trump to win if everything is going to plan, with not a terrible disapproval rating. And now we're going to move over to the Democrats' more likely seats or pickups. And first of all, we're going to be looking at Colorado. This has been trending more and more Democratic over the past few years, and at the moment it's going very, very solidly to Joe Biden, a likely 13%, almost making it safe. And there's no arguments there. I think the Republicans are going to accept that Joe Biden is going to win in November, no matter what happens. And if we move up to the Northeast, the only state that isn't safe for Democrats at large, over here, New Hampshire, however, it has been trending quite solidly for the Democrats in recent years, especially after Hillary Clinton's now win in the state, and is currently at 8% towards Joe Biden. And now we're going to move into the last one of the likely Democratic states, and that is Nevada. Ever since it went to Hillary Clinton in 2016, as well as electing a Democratic senator, it's almost been solidly for the Democrats. and that is shown by the 4-point lead, Biden 49% to Trump's 45% in the state. Now, as you can see, these 5 remaining states are the ones that are going to decide the presidency most likely in November. And I'd just like to point out that these are not my predictions. These are just going off poll figures that have come out recently. And as you can see, and recently the president has not been doing the best in polls. But I wouldn't take these for granted as an actual prediction for November. Yet, here we go. So first of all, we're going to go to the 3 Rust Belt states, the ones that effectively decided the presidency and pushed it in Donald Trump's direction. And the most likely Democratic one at the moment is Michigan. Many didn't even consider Michigan as a state that could possibly flip to Republicans. And even though it did by just under 1%, it still managed to do so. However, with a Democratic governor and the Senate race looking quite likely for the Democrats, this is also met with the 8-point lead that they currently have in the state and would make it a likely state. And over to Pennsylvania, a bit tighter. However, this is also held by Biden at the moment with 49% to 43%. Of course, we're not counting some of the undecided voters, which could shift it to the president's direction. But that is currently a 6-point lead to Democrats and Joe Biden. And now we're going to move over to Wisconsin, which was probably the one that was most likely going to go to Republicans. In 2016, there was quite a large difference between the polling numbers and the actual results coming out of the state after November 6th. And currently it is going to the Democrats and Joe Biden by 3%, 46 to 43. However, this could definitely change later on in the year. And now we're going to the last 2 states, and even though the Democrats already have the presidency, if we're going by the polls that have been released as of 18th of May, these 2 don't actually matter. However, Arizona is very solidly for Biden at the moment. It's been trending Democrat in the last couple of years. They now hold a majority of the House seats in the state, and it wouldn't be a surprise for many if it did end up flipping to Joe Biden and the Democrats, currently with a 9-point lead over Donald Trump. And Florida, which I would still call a lean Republican state at the moment, even though the polls do have it the other way. With the governorship in 2018 going quite solidly for Ron DeSantis over Andrew Gillum. However, the current polls have it as a 5-point lead for Biden over Trump. And by putting that into the lean column, this is the electoral map as of the polls. This is not my prediction. I highly doubt that some of the states, such as Florida and Wisconsin, maybe, will probably be going to the Republicans, in my opinion. But as you can see, this is very similar to 2016. However, it is the Democrats who have the advantage with 318 votes to the Republicans 220. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more election prediction videos as well as history videos, which I'll be making later on in the year.